any arguing back and forth chatter between you and me or between your herders and mine, for we are. If you don't mind, I want to preach from a topic. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm not talking about you. I'm just going to repeat this topic. We are not that close. You can be seated in the Lord's house. Somebody say it with attitude. We are not that close. So Pastor Mike has been teaching on this principle of force multipliers for the past couple of weeks, and he began to teach us on what force multipliers represent and look like in our lives. Force multipliers, here's what he taught us. Here it is, let's review. Are God-used pressures that accelerate development, reveal capacity, and push you into levels you would not have reached through comfort alone. Are y'all gonna help me preach at this service, or I gotta wait on the next one? Here it is, number 2. Force multipliers are also pressures, look at it, systems or decisions that make growth happen faster than comfort would allow. But the last one is what really blessed me. Here it is, somebody. Force multipliers are pressures, systems, or decisions. Watch this, pressure, disruption, or responsibility that removes the option to stay the same. Y'all not talking back to me. Now, in 2026, there are a couple of places I am choosing to stay. I am choosing to stay locked in with my word. I'm choosing to stay locked in prayer. I'm choosing to stay as focused as I can be. But I am not choosing to be one thing in 2026. I refuse to stay the same. And I wonder, do I have anybody early in my little message today that's making up in your mind that you refuse to stay the same, that I do not have to be who I've always been? There's evolution with my name on it. And if you're believing that this is your year for transformation, somebody shout, I receive that. Force multipliers. Why is this important? Because in today's message, I want us to unpack how oftentimes God will force a relationship to end before a relationship ends us. I like this side over here. I'm gonna say that again. Sometimes God will force a relationship to end before the relationship ends us. For some of you, you having a revelation and you should be having a praise break right now, because there was a season of your life that you were crying and could not get any sleep at night, and you were calling it a breakup. But on the other side of it, you calling it a breakthrough. God forced you out of that. For some of you, you're crying because they fired you, but now that you're looking back at it, you're saying, no, God favored me, because God forced you out of that, because you didn't have the faith to leave yourself. He had to force you out of it. And I wonder, do I have anybody in the room that's no longer fighting to stay in places and relationships and seasons that are expired, and because God is using separation to get me to multiplication? We're not that close. We're not that close. What do I mean when we say we're not that close? Here it is, write this down. We're not that close is the recognition. Y'all better be careful, because this is a statement of discernment. We are not that close. It's the recognition that what looks like intimacy is actually a connection based on intersecting schedules and interests. Y'all better come get me. We're not that close. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back and the people in the chat. It's the recognition that what looks like intimacy on top of the surface is actually only intersecting schedules or interests underneath the surface. In other words, they're not in alignment with you, they're just around you. Because everyone you can't count on. Somebody better come get me. And what do you do when you calling somebody a friend when they just might be an associate? All right, let me keep working right here, because just because you work with them does not mean you're assigned to them. Just because you have history with them does not mean you have destiny with them. And for some of us, we're staying committed to people because of the history, when God has said no, health, not history, should determine your destiny. Just because you've been with them for a long time doesn't mean you've been with them for a strong time. Somebody better come get me off this stage. We are not that close, because sometimes what looks like closeness is actually convenience. Sometimes people aren't close to you. It's just convenient to stay close to the favor on you. Oh, y'all better. Because one of the most dangerous mistakes in life is giving permanent access to people who only had a temporary assignment. And so God may send you somewhere for employment to work and witness, but you went there to find a friend. And God is like, I didn't send you there to make friends. I sent you there to make a difference. But you're so busy trying to fit in, you missing the assignment, because you can never lead where you fit. So stop complaining when you don't fit, because I didn't call you to fit. I called you. Are y'all hearing me today? This is why discernment matters, because if we mistake intersection for intimacy, we will build loyalty where God only intended for us to learn. And so you ever found yourself stuck in the commitment when, if you think about it in retrospect, once you got stuck in the commitment, you don't even know why you made the commitment in the first place? Y'all not talking to me. And now that you know this commitment don't even make sense for the season that you're in or for who you have become, you're staying committed out of the kindness of your heart, when sometimes destiny requires detachment and decommitment. But you're being so loyal to a bad decision, you missing God. What do you do when you loyal to a bad decision? Oh, y'all gonna look at me like that. Don't act like you never seen one of your exes years after you dated them, and when you saw them, you kept walking. It was like, I don't know what I was. You prayed for them. Now watch this, everybody. Hear me. Catch this, everybody. What if what we're calling loyalty, God is looking at it and calling it disobedience? Because not every separation is betrayal. Sometimes separation is stewardship. Stewardship management. Sometimes we only manage stuff, but we don't manage our soul. And so sometimes God will put you in a season where separation is a priority, because if not, there are consequences attached to you staying. And so here it is. This is the case in our text today. Abram, not Abraham, he hasn't become Abraham yet. Abram and Lot were close. They're family. They traveled together. They built together. They survived together. But Genesis 13 reveals that even though they were near each other, they were not necessarily meant to remain together. This is why for every relationship in your life must have a season of fruit inspection. Because sometimes what was good for you then may not be good for you next. This text is showing us, are y'all ready for this? Write this down. It's simple, but it's very subtle. Here it is. It's showing us that near does not always mean necessary. Near does not always mean necessary. What do you do when you become a victim of always picking what's available, not what's assigned? And so I feel like I'm preaching to myself right now. And so sometimes we can be in a season of chronic frustration because we're making decisions not by faith, but by familiarity. Are y'all hearing this today? And so here it is. Sometimes God lets pressure expose that a relationship was built more on an environment than it was alignment. Y'all were just around each other and had intersecting schedules and interests, but y'all were not aligned for destiny. Intersection is when we just cross paths. Intimacy is when we cross-pollinate. Y'all missed that. In other words, I shouldn't stay connected to you if we're not producing nothing together. And for some of us, we just crossing paths with people expecting to produce something when God is saying, no, you just crossing paths. I didn't send them into your life to produce. Yes, they cute. But that was just an intersection. Keep driving. Y'all missed it. Yes, that's a good opportunity, but that's just an intersection. It's not a God opportunity. Keep driving. And I wonder, do I have some people in the room today that's saying, God, send me some people and some places that's going to help me produce what you put on the inside of me. I'm going to give you 30 seconds right now to praise God. If you know this is your season, this is your year to produce what eyes have not seen, what ears have not heard. Somebody shout, produce. So watch this. Abram and Lot get to a place to where they've been producing in the past, but it's beginning to cause pain in the present. And the mature response when it's time to end a season should never be bitterness. Because all endings are not evil. Sometimes God is calling you to not just have faithful blessings, but to also have faithful boundaries. Because you cannot be everything to everybody. If Abram continues to hold on to Lot, he won't be able to nurture and develop Isaac once he gives birth to him. And so here it is, everybody. A mature response should not be bitterness, but clarity. It is the clarity and courage to say, we were close in one season, but based on my calling, not based on my feelings, but based on my calling, we not that close. So I love you, but I gotta let you go. It is getting good in this, I'm telling you. We get to the text, Genesis 13, verse 8. So Abram said to Lot, let's not have any quarreling. See, I'm gonna start using words like quarreling. I'm going to another level. I'm no longer saying stuff like arguing, fussing. No, beef. No, I'm not doing the back and forth banter. No, let's stop all of this quarreling amongst us. I'm gonna do that when I get home to my wife. All of this quarreling. Abram said to Lot, let's not have all this quarreling, which means it's not just mad, it's big mad. It means we going against each other, and the people who we influence are now being exposed to our dysfunction. And they're taking on and reproducing our dysfunction in their connection with our people. See, if I had time, I would preach blood pressure. Because Abram and Lot are family members. So this is family quarreling or fighting amongst each other. And watch this, because they're fighting amongst each other and they're leaders of their tribes. Watch this, everybody. Their people are now fighting against each other because whatever is not healed gets handed down. So you got to stop fighting with your siblings so your kids and their kids won't be. So he says, let's not have any quarreling between you and me or between your herders and mine. Oh, I wish I had time, I just saw something else. Because sometimes your biggest mistake is you putting people in your family in areas of your life they're not assigned to. That's your nephew, not your business partner. I don't have time for that. But here it is, everybody. Here it is. Look at this. What's the problem here? We see frustration in the present, but that's only fruit. Root is disobedient in the past. Because if you went to Sunday School 101, you know God gave Abram specific instructions. Please throw Genesis 12:1 up on the screen. Abraham, watch this, everybody. Now the Lord said to Abram, get out of your country, from your, all right, they sleep over here. Leave your country and leave your, and from your father's house. All right, go back to Genesis 13. Abraham said to Lot, who is his nephew. Go back to Genesis 12. Now the Lord said to Abram, get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house, to the land that I will show you. My question is this: if God told him to leave his family, why did he take family with him? Some of you never ask the right questions. Because my question is, if Lot is Abram's nephew, who was Lot's father? And where is his father? If you study the scriptures, you'll realize Abram had a brother named Haran who died. And watch this, as he died, Abram felt responsible for his brother's son. What do you do when you're making choices not out of purpose, but out of guilt? So now he's feeling responsible for Lot because of the loss of a family member. For some of us, we haven't grieved properly, so we're allowing grief to lead us and not faith. It's getting crazy in here right now. And so here he is fighting in the present because of disobedience in the past. And this is so good, everybody. I want you to check this out. We see clearly God's instruction in chapter 12. Then he says, we arrive to verse 13. Abram went up from Egypt to the Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. He left some of his family, not all of his family. So it's not full disobedience, it's partial obedience. But half of obedience is still disobedience. God said leave all of it, not some of it. Now look at this, I want you to catch this, because this is showing us that when God calls you, your calling will often be a disruption. He will disturb your peace, your comfort, your success, what's familiar when he calls you. And some of you right now are in a Jonah season on the run because God called you collect, but you didn't accept the charges. What do you do when God is calling you to do something that seems too difficult to do? And so here he is, everybody. He failed to disconnect completely from his family. And this is showing us, write this down, who we fail to separate from now may cause unnecessary setbacks later. Can I preach to some people who may feel stuck like you're in a setback or in a cycle? Could it be because you didn't detach from who God told you to detach from? And so now he's holding you up in your present to protect your purpose from your dysfunctional attachments. Some of you, you keep calling them an ex. I dare you to pull your phone out and change their name to Setback. Every time you talk to them, they set you back. Your feelings go back, your mind go back, and then your body go back. But the devil is a liar. I declare that you are setting boundaries and no longer falling victim to your flesh. Somebody shout, I'm free from all of that. It's an unnecessary setback. And so here it is, everybody. I want you to see this. Verse 13, chapter 13, verse 6. Look at it. I want you to check this out. But the land could not support them while they stayed together. For their possessions were so great, they were not able to stay together. I'm going to keep reading. And quarreling arose between Abram's herders and Lot's. So we see tension, not because someone is evil. We're seeing a need to separate because both of them can't stop growing. Y'all don't know when to shout. Because what most people see as a problem could also be progress. That some of you should be shouting over the tension you may have in your circle because both of y'all kept growing so much, it ain't the season to stay close as you used to be. What do you do when God favors you so much, he has to shift your focus to new people? They're not quarreling because they're losing. They're quarreling because they're winning. Because growth can be traumatic. And what do you do? Y'all not helping. Somebody better come get me. And what do you do if you're Lot growing under an unhealthy Abram who don't know how to let you go? Or what do you do when you're Abram and you're trying to release Lot, but Lot is codependent on you and they don't want to leave? Because sometimes what we're calling commitment is actually codependency. It's tight, but it's right in here. And so here it is, a sign that it's time to set new boundaries is when we lack motivation to keep saving old connections. What do you do when you no longer have the fight to keep fighting? What do you do when they're ready to turn up and you like, somebody talk to him, I'm about to go take a nap. Hey. Abram no longer has the energy, the fight, or the strength to keep fighting old battles because the season is up. Because when we lack boundaries, we risk losing assets. He's like, if I keep fighting with you, I might lose cattle, I might lose peace, I might lose people. So whichever way you want to go, look around, choose whatever direction you want to go in, and I'll go in the opposite. Now look at verse 14. The Lord said, y'all missed that. Because he just had this conversation with Lot. He was like, hey, I love you. I love you so much. But this ain't working. And so look to the left. If you want that, I'll go right. Look to the right. If you want that, I'll go left. I'm closing right here. But whatever you want to do it quickly. Because we can't keep hurting each other into this season. Then watch this. The next verse says, verse 14, the Lord said to Abram, go back to the verse before this. He's having a conversation with Lot. He said, hey, we can't keep quarreling like this. Wherever you decide to go, you go. But it's time to separate. Go to verse 14. After he separates, the Lord said to Abram, after Lot had parted from him, he separated from Lot. After he made the cut, the Lord said to Abram, y'all don't know when to have church? He had vision as long as he was stuck with Lot. But he got clarity once he separated from Lot. All he heard was arguing, fussing, and frustration as long as he stayed in this season. But once he separated, he started hearing from God. And God looks at Abram and says, watch this, look around from where you are to the north, the south, the east, and the west. Y'all don't know what time it is. I dare you to look to your left, look to your right, look to the front, look to the back, look up, look down. See, some of y'all look too fast. You don't even know what God getting ready to do in your life. He said, look in every direction you can. Why? Because the next verse says, watch this, everybody, throw it on the screen. All the land that you see, I will give to you and your offspring forever. I don't know if I have the right people in the room right now, but do I have some people in the room that can praise God that he's using separation to get you to multiplication? And if I can see it, I can have it. Somebody shout, if I can see it, I can have it. He said, I'm not just giving it to you. I'm also giving it to everything that comes from. See, that last praise was just about what he's showing you. But I'm going to give you 30 seconds right now to praise God that your children are blessed. Your children's children are blessed. Your entire bloodline will never be the same. Can I ask you a question? What's your lot? Ask a better question. Who's your lot? Because as long as he stayed connected to Lot, he never became Abraham. You know what I almost preach? I almost preach, it's not you, it's me. Because Abram was shifting to Abraham and didn't even know it. And for some of you, there's tension with people you love, but need to let go. Not because they're doing you wrong, but because your elevation is going to require an evolution. And so for some of you, you're trying to do what you've never did without becoming who you've never been. Yes, David killed a giant, but he had to become a giant killer first. He had a test, the same God. He had a testimony. You can stand to your feet. I'm closing. Can I ask you a question? Your lot can be a person, place, or thing. Hear me? Please lock in and don't miss this part. Your lot can be a person, place, or thing. And for some of you, your separation may not be physical. You may need emotional separation. You may need to adjust your expectations mentally and emotionally. Because for some of us, we always think, I'm gonna just leave. No, sometimes God has said, no, leave your old expectations. Because I can give you a new experience in the same relationship if you allow me to keep molding your hearts and your mind to become who I've crafted you to be. But watch this. What do you, or who do you, or where do you need to separate from so you can hear God again? Because the problem wasn't what Lot and his herds were saying. The problem was Abram couldn't hear what God was saying. Sometimes you need to separate because God is refusing to speak because your life is too loud. Be careful when you're always addicted to company. Always need to be around people. Always need to be busy doing stuff and just a worker be a busybody. God is like, all right, you're not going to hear me, so I'm going to force you to lose everything you love so you can come back to me to see what's next. Because if you don't come to me, you'll keep chasing what's next, not knowing what is clearly next. God showed him his next steps. He says, all the land you see, I'm giving it to you and your offspring forever. So in other words, don't go fighting over land that I never promised you. Y'all miss that. Because he may have showed Abram land, but what if he wants to show you a life? And he said, if you separate from Lot, I'm gonna show you a life that you've never seen before. So you'll stop fighting over a life that I never planned for you to have. I'm the testament of that. I was fighting for a life that I wanted, but God didn't want for me. But when I let go and I let God, I didn't have to chase stuff. Stuff started chasing me. And some of us know what it's like to have the house, to have the car, to have the spouse or the significant other, but can't even sleep at night. You don't have peace. God sent you here today because you might have the stuff, but you don't have him no more. God is like, yep, everything done grew. Your estate has grown, your cattle has grown, your portfolio has grown, your influence has grown, but I need you to lose a lot so you can get back to me. Because sometimes I have to force you in the uncomfortable season because you don't know how to rely on me in comfortable seasons. So I have to shift what's comfortable to you to force you back to faith. And if we're gonna be like Abram and experience divine separation, we have to, number one, discern the connection. Is this something I emotionally attached to? Or is this something God assigned me to? Because for some of us, we're fighting over attachments, not assignments. Abram had to realize that Lot's presence was familiar, but it was no longer fruitful. Number two, we have to define the boundary. Fellas, look at me. All my men, look at me. Please hear this. Stop being everything on your job, in your community, and not even showing up with half of you at home. Because I know what it's like to be winning at work, but losing at home. Sometimes if you don't set boundaries, the people that mean the most to you will get the least from you. So when you leave work, leave work. Don't just be present, be fully present. Because it's possible to be at home, but your mind not. Define the boundary. Why is this important? Because Abram did not fight Lot, he just created a boundary. I don't have to go back and forth with you about this. Let's just reset the room. In other words, I love you, but I'm gonna have to reposition you in this season. You used to be close, and I still love you, but in this season, I'm gonna have to reposition you and give you distance, because if I don't give you distance, we won't have a relationship at all. So sometimes God uses grace in the relationship in the expression of distance, because if there's no distance, there might be destruction. Number three, I'm closing right here. Discover the next season. After Lot left, God spoke. Now here's what's important. When Lot left, he didn't run to Facebook. He didn't run the Threads. He didn't run the TikTok. He didn't run the Instagram. He didn't run to the group chat. He went to God. And what if we've been missing God because we've been going to gossip? Because God is like, now I'm gonna speak when you learn how to put me first. So when you have that heartache, that headache, that frustration, that loss, who do you run to first? Because God is like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to you when you seek me first with all your heart. Discover the next season, because some clarity only comes after separation. It was after Lot left, God began to speak. And when God speaks, things change. When God speaks, things change. When God spoke, Abram began to become Abraham. He changed his status. He changed his name. And for some of you, you're about to enter into a season where God is getting ready to change your name. He's changing your status. People are gonna look at you and say, you look the same, but you're not the same, because God is about to speak. So listen.